Okay, so hi, Suzanne.
Hi, how you
So,
doing?
little spiral. I'm so glad you came today. I know you have music in you, and we're gonna ask some messages from Prince. Just to start out, Spirit has a way of its own. I'm listening for messages. They may or may not be germane. Always know that you have 100% say over whether or not you take the message, whether or not you integrate the message, whether or not you just own, right? So we're going to listen, but we're going to know that we, being in the physical body at this time, we have the alpha in ourselves. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
And then the other thing is, if other relatives of yours, if you'd like to ask questions, we can do that. There's never a guarantee. So there's never, you can't do a reading and say, I want to talk to my dead grandfather 3 generations back or something. I mean, you can, but there's just never, Spirit kind of does what Spirit does. So I just wanted to let you know that. Is that all right?
Okay. Yeah, that's great.
And then when you're integrating it in the future week or two to come, you do this, pay attention to the little signs.
Yeah.
Because often something will come and you'll be like, what the heck? And then later it'll be like, huh, oh, that's so interesting, right? Does that make sense?
Uh-huh. that happened. So yes.
So tell me your questions to start.
I guess my biggest question is always with career responsibilities, monetary responsibilities, and I know I've got this music career that I keep starting and stopping, and I have clients that I serve on the marketing piece, and I feel out of balance, and I feel stuck on how deep to go full throttle in music. Maybe it's not quite yet, maybe it's now, maybe it's abandon everything, or maybe it's I still care. Okay. I care about my clients. They come to me for a solution, and I care about them, and I want to make sure they're served.
Yeah, so basically what I'm being shown is that genius happens really in flashes, so that you don't have to worry about it so much. So if there's a song that wants to be sung or wants to be written, your job is to stop everything you're doing and take that. Like, it will come in these flashes. It may come if you're walking, or do you ride a bike? Do you do something? What do you do that's physical?
Either walking or swimming.
Yeah, so when you're swimming, you want to have like a pad of paper by the pool, or a recorder. You want to have a recorder, because about halfway through your swim is when you stop being so fucking worried about all the shit that's happening. And that's, for me, that's when Michael Jackson talks to me, is when I'm in the pool. Or when I was at the gym, when I used to play basketball before my knee got messed up. It was like 5 a.m. and there'd be no one else in the gym, and I'd be just running back and forth, just playing, just, being me. And I'd get these messages, and it was crazy. Like, so the messages, the song comes in like a message from Spirit. So it's coming to you in, so this is how it works. It's both when you call for it and it comes, and it's an allowing. Does this make sense?
Yeah.
And then it's a rolling with it, capturing it. And then there's the pieces that aren't as fun. And so for me, I write books. So the parts that aren't as fun are having it designed, having a name put on it, having it put into a bookstore, getting people to buy it, like all the stuff after the fun part. And so you want to start asking of the music. So I don't know. I think this is just coming from God. So I don't think I'm really talking to anyone's spirit right now.
Okay.
I don't know if I am, but what I'm getting is I'm being shown music as this sort of like, it's all in the atmosphere, like it's everywhere. Yes. And so as a channel for it, you have a gift and a calling of it, and it calls to you as a gift from God to the planet. So as you create the gift, and it won't always make sense.
Yeah.
Do not confuse yourself that a song makes sense.
Uh-huh.
In fact, when it really doesn't make any sense, could be its most magical. So I'm just going to ask now to see if Prince wants to say anything, because he was really chatty last time we got together. So he had, I don't know if this is true, because I understand he had his own recording studio in his house.
Yeah.
And so he would make music 24/7, 365. And every part of his life was about making music, recording music, and then really he likes it when you play with the music. He likes the after mixing that you do. So he said you actually could also mix for other people if you chose to, as a way of getting money from music before you make money for your own music. So he wants you to start looking at more creative ways of getting the two things into alignment, so it's less two things and more music. So it could be helping do creatives for musicians, creating their look and feel, their website. It could be doing PR for them, but charge them, find rich ones, charge them lots of money and have that be easy for you. And then the music itself, he's showing me that right now you get it in fits and spurts.
Yeah.
However, your capacity, you can leap beyond that, which is what you feel, which scares you because it's so powerful.
Yeah.
Because you get real music. So it's not a mistake. It's not, you're not getting cover music. Does that make sense? I've never even really listened to your music, so
yeah. So I do have like played around with covers and things. But yeah, when I'm doing original music, I am that.
So ask him about like a specific piece of music.
Okay.
Or hum something.
Encore, I'm begging for more. I'm drawn to your drama, my ID, prima donna. Encore.
So is it kind of an R&B type sound? Is it Nora Jones-ish?
Is it a what?
Is it Nora Jones-ish? What would the influences be?
Oh yeah, so this one I'm working on with a new producer, and he's putting on some like big brass horns, and it's pop, with some like kind of over the top orchestral elements.
So what would be? Do you like performing?
Depends.
Like, can you walk into a place and just get up on stage and do your thing?
Yeah, I mean, like, honestly, like Prince's piano and a microphone, that's what I do. Like piano, microphone, that I can just walk on stage and perform.
Yeah. What would it be like if it worked? If it was it? What would that look like?
I don't envision big tours and big stages. I envision placement in sync, or I envision a creative process that I have with fans, like something that's more collaborative.
I got royalties.
Royalties.
Yeah, he wants you to get monthly royalties from songs, and you can write songs for other people too.
Yeah.
And so he's showing me like to find your tribe. What you want to do is listen to music. You're gonna know who to pitch a song to and pay attention to that awareness. Or write a song for someone.
Yeah.
Like you might want to also okay, this is really a weird question. I don't think
Okay.
it's sexual, but it's
Okay.
like, when are you the most turned on?
Mm.
Like that sense right in your solar plexus
Yeah.
where you're like, ah, like, ah, like, what's that for you?
You mentioned solar plexus. I actually have a song called Solar Plexus.
Do you really?
Yeah, I do. Yeah. When I'm the most, actually, this whole process with this producer is totally exhilarating for me. So I will record. I'll send him like some MIDI files and stems, and he'll turn it into a full
Okay. He just
production.
says turn this up every single moment you're doing this. Turn it up. He says turn it up. Turn it up. Every single moment you're doing it. It doesn't matter what else you do when you're not doing it. It doesn't matter what else you do 10 hours a day. You can only do it on Saturdays. It doesn't matter. Turn it up. It needs to be so much more. So it needs to have you as you. So you want to look at that energy he had of him. When he's doing it's like, da-da-da-da-da, you know, Purple Rain or whatever, you know, like, da-da-da-da-da. It was like all in, all in. So when you're doing it, you gotta fucking, everything else is out. And you are only, and then turn it up again. And then ask yourself, am I turned up enough? And if you don't get a yes, then you turn it up higher. And I gotta tell you that turning up, let's just both sit there in that. And how many of us, both of us, have blown that fucking off because we want to be normal, and we know we're not. I mean, obviously, right?
Right.
Nothing about us is normal, but yet there's this desire. Let's just come on. Let's just talk to that. Talk to that. Why have you not been turned up enough? Go ahead and just say all the things. Go ahead and just blab.
Just not been turned up enough. I'm scared. I'm tired a lot. I think my physical body is fighting my ambitions.
I don't want to turn people on. I don't want them to like my boobs. I don't want them to think I'm pretty. I don't want them to like my ass. I don't want them to think I'm the bomb. I don't want them to like my eyes. I don't want them to say I have it all. I don't want people to be turned on by me. How can you turn people on with your music if you cannot let them be turned on by you? That's the question. And I'm asking for both of us.
Yeah. I mean, I feel like I had this conversation with Prince the other day. I swear to God. Because he's a very sexual, sensual man. And he was just like, hey, you haven't dated in a while. You know, like.
So we have now opened the channel for you to receive messages from, greatest of all times. We call it the GOAT. So he was one of the musicians of his day who was one of the greatest musicians of all times. And so now, oh my gosh, doesn't that just make you feel just like so fucking stunned? Like that his spirit's willing to come and hang out with you. This is now the third or fourth time. Can I tell you something funny? I was in my friend Manette's. She was doing an angel thing on my body. I was in Las Vegas. And I told her, I admitted that I'd been getting messages from Michael Jackson. So as we did that, Elizabeth Taylor came over to pipe in. And she goes, you have a really cute ass. Why don't you ever show it? Because she was like, you wear these pants like you just hide your butt. And it was so funny because I don't even really spend a lot of time thinking about that part of my, body.
Yeah.
But it was very funny when I got that feedback of like, why don't you show yourself? And I think I'm not really worried about whether or not you're sexy or not, but as we turn up, I got very surprised to find out women can be turned on by us. We think a lot like men are turned on by us, but women also get turned on, and they can't help it. When they're around a turned on person, they get turned on, whether they're lesbian or not. They still, when you're around turned on people, you get turned on. And so if we turned women on by accident, like our parents, our mothers, our teachers, if we turned on And we didn't want to do that because then they didn't like that, because then they started getting turned on, and then that scared the fuck out of them because they couldn't deal with it. And so then they went, fuck, I do not want to be turned on. So then we started turning down, and it was both women and men.
Yeah.
And that was a big shock for me, because I always thought it was all hetero, even though I thought gay women might be turned on by me, but it's actually not true. Anyone for whom you show up as, exciting to, you can turn them on. It's just natural. Being around a turned on person, you're gonna turn on.
Yeah.
And what I'm getting is that you turn people on, and then he's like, you don't know what to do with that. You don't know how to navigate that. So
I really don't.
You haven't given people permission to find you sexy. You haven't. He's showing me. He said it doesn't have anything to do with your body shape. He said sexy is an attitude, and you got it. And so you're going to turn people on whether you don't want to or you want to. It's not really optional, because you're turned on by life and you get music. And so so there's this shifting of letting people be turned on by you that he demonstrated. His face is so beautiful. He wasn't my type, but he's so beautiful. I love his spirit. There's a whole bunch of other spirits who have messages, and Prince was being very dominating. So he says, you are going to just start having these rhythms that are just going to, he goes, it can go full time. So it might be, right now he's showing me it'll take 12 years. So if you wanted it to go faster, you'd have to accept money from music earlier. So you would only have to figure it all out how, which I'm sure this is for me too, right? Like when I say being blessing medium can make me money, and then I'm like, what the fuck does that mean? Like I don't know how that I don't know how that can mean. You know what I mean? Like what? Yeah. And he's showing me that it can happen for you, no problem. He's saying no problem. He's not even saying it's a thing. Like it's to him, it's like already done in some future reality. Does that make sense?
It will.
That's what I got. Wow. Yeah, big on turning it up.
Yeah.
Do you want to hear from Michael? Because he's sort of butting his head in.
Okay, if he's in the room.
So thank you, Prince.
Thank you.
I wasn't really that, like, I think one of the things is I wasn't super into all these guys. Like, I'm into a lot of different people. These guys, I was kind of like just, always very honoring and respectful of their gifts. But I don't have that many musicians I totally love. I'm very finicky.
Yeah. So
now we're going to go to Michael Jackson's energy. Okay. And, so he's talking about styles of clothing.
Oh, is he?
So he would like you to have a look.
Okay.
And he would like that look to have, he showed me like lifted tennis shoes. And he said, look at the Grammys, at some of the looks that some of the African-American women were having. And he says, and then he's showing me like splotchy, bright, artsy colors.
Okay, yeah. Uh-huh.
Really?
Yep.
Really? That resonates?
The splotchy, bright, like kind of neon kind of colors. Yeah. That's actually okay. So there's my solo gig, and then there's Helix Code, which is my.
Can you look more into your camera somehow?
Yeah. So there's my solo gig, which is me and the piano, and then there's my electronic duo, which is Helix Code, and we've been constantly talking about like bright colors that just like pop.
That's what he showed me. And I know it kind of looks like spandex, but then there's like some flattery stuff over there. So I do have a client who has some really cool art to wear clothing, and you
Oh,
can like take pictures and she can make clothes out of it. So
wow.
I'll give you her information. Yeah,
Yeah.
cool. So he's showing me to have a look, and he's showing me right before you go on stage to do a clearing
Mm.
and a letting go of it, meaning he's showing me this pause before stage. And he said, put on then the stage yourself. So, and this would like, it's kind of working on my level too. Like before I become Blessing Medium, have a persona that I start allowing. So that, for instance, when Prince shows up on stage all in purple, it's not what he looks like in sweats at home.
Yeah.
And so Michael's saying, yeah, have fun with that. And I'm also showing like contacts and big ass eyelashes, which I don't know where that came from. So,
Okay.
but
Okay.
your eyes are really beautiful. And so he's kind of saying those, you can make your eyes bigger and really stand out because your eyes are like a really pretty light color that people really like right now.
Yeah.
Because there's so many more people with dark eyes than light eyes. And
Yeah.
so light eyes are very original. And he just likes your look and he says you can practice. He's showing me like a gymnasium type of environment, like a fake stage you could borrow, and you could practice like how you walk on stage and get video of it and teach yourself to walk in like it fucking matters. And it's not even not being you. It's a subtle turning up of you.
Yes.
And it's a how you are as you that will then give your music more street credentials. So you're doing that to give the music more space.
Yes.
So the video images then will be the thing that go crazy. And then you can lighten up the music in production, and all of it will all be this like really bright thing.
Yeah.
He likes your personality. Do you have any questions?
I mean, always. Which particular question is it's actually directly related to what Prince was saying before about not allowing people to be turned on by me, but I do struggle a lot with just even makeup seems to be like a thing that I have this hang-ups around that I've struggled with. And
you're so beautiful. Like your lips and your eyes and your everything, like you've got a look. And you can't see it, can you?
probably not, no.
Yeah. So one of the things about like a J-Lo or a Katy Perry is that they don't have that. I have it too. I hate putting on. I don't put on makeup very often. I put some on today, which is very unusual for me. But
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not like saying like I have that going on and I know how to tell you about it.
Right.
So what he's showing me is the music. Let the music. So go back, tune into yourself as a musician, and just say, I'm a musician. Just say that out loud. I'm a musician.
I'm a musician.
And on 1 to 10, how willing are you to let the music go wild?
Oh, wild is a great word. My brain is like at 10. It's almost desperate at this point.
So would makeup help the music be seen and heard? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay. So are you willing to align with letting the music have that?
Yes.
Cool. So get the best fucking makeup artist you can afford. Now I'm going crazy. Let them spend 2-3 hours on your face. They can take 2 to 3 hours, and let them really have fun with it and be playing the music the whole time and have it be part of the music kicking ass in the world. And it has nothing to do with you as far as like anything. Like, don't even see it as being like a thing. Just be like, okay, I'm going to be on. I have a friend who does a lot of TV interviews, and I've been on her shows a lot. And she just goes in to makeup, and they do her makeup. And then she has all these outfits lined up, and then she chooses her outfit. And then she has boots and shoes for days, and then they help choose her boots and shoes. It's not even a thing. Like, she would never go on TV without her makeup. It's not, it's so much a part of her thing.
Yeah.
And she's the most real person you've ever met. And she's stunningly beautiful in her 50s. She's stunningly beautiful. And so I want to just share with you that ease of makeup. So now start to talk to yourself about, what if makeup were so easy? You don't have to do it yourself. Just picture someone putting it on you for you. Okay? You don't have to master it. You don't even have to know what it is. You do have to like the makeup artist's work.
Yeah. Yeah.
So could you allow the music to give you, oh my gosh, do you see what just happened to the music? Did you feel that shift? It shifted, your music. It just got bigger. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
You don't have to then go and put on makeup like crazy to meet with your creativity PR clients. You don't have to do that. You can do it for the music.
Yeah.
You can do it in the energy of the music. Let the makeup shape the music. Let which music you're going to be doing that day shape it. Let it be part. Oh, Michael's showing me. He's like, well, he's laughing because of how much makeup he wore, right?
Right.
He's like, you're really gonna ask me if music was a thing when I had like music on me, when I had makeup on me for since I was 5? Like, look at his eyes. Remember how big his eyes were when he was on stage? It was like he wore so much makeup.
And also, I think that was a big hang up for me. It's like, well, men don't have to wear makeup, blah, 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 blah. But entertainment wear makeup all the time.
Everyone who goes on TV wears makeup. Because what TV does is it does all this weird stuff. Yeah. And so even like my lipstick, I thought looked ridiculous before I got on this video with you. And it doesn't even look weird, does it?
No, not at all.
It's 80% more lipstick than I would wear if I were waking up by myself.
Right.
To me, it looks weird in the mirror, like in the morning, like, right? But I don't even look like I'm wearing that much makeup.
No.
And I'm wearing more makeup than I ever wear. So you want to let it go. There we go. Just let go of any attachment to it and just say, okay, now let's just align with. So let's thank Michael. He can go. We'll send him away. Bye-bye.
Thank you.
I'm so mean. See what you did? Okay, cool. Because I want to be with you with God now, and just go out to your own guidance. And just reach out into the heavens and expand your energy out into the heavens to your own God guidance. And just ask the music to show you the persona in 1 year with all of this just flying out free. Just go ahead and get a picture of that 1 year from now. Wow.
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 Wow. I got my work cut out for me.
Yeah.
But you also said, I think what what is allaying this a little bit more for me is like, I don't have to do it alone. I could get a makeup artist. And it relates back to what we had talked about before about being in community and being in collaboration with people.
Yeah, they'll do it for, usually they'll do it for show credit.
Mm-hmm.
So often, and then if not, you can make money to pay them. So,
Yeah, yeah,
but
yeah.
a lot of beginning, or they'll do it for before and after pictures.
Oh, yeah.
So they'll do it if they can get free tickets to the concert and have before and after. Maybe say in the middle of the concert, thanks to my makeup artist. You don't have to do all that, but I'm just saying, like, as you get around, I know they always mess with my eyebrows. They're like, can I just trim your eyebrows just a little? Because I have these big eyebrows. But okay, cool. So we've got that, and now, how about? Do you have any blockages on getting paid for music?
Oh, of course.
Really?
I feel like
that's so funny. You know, can I just tell you something really funny?
Yes.
Like, okay, I don't have blockages getting paid to write, right?
Right.
I've been writing professionally since 1984. So I have been paid to write most of my life. And so almost all my life. My mom hired me as an editor when I was 15 because she couldn't find anyone at her office that was good enough. And I was better than everyone she knew. And so she's like, well, I'm paying my daughter because she can edit this document. And I don't want anyone else to do it because she's good. So I was 15 getting paid to do this work, right? So when someone asks me to write something for them, free, like, what the fuck? No, I don't do that free, right? Like, I don't do that for free. I'm sorry. I'm going to do that for pay. How much would you like to pay me? When I start talking about being a medium, suddenly I'm willing to do it for free.
Yeah.
And it's that weird thing of not being in command. And I don't know what it is either. Like, I don't really know the answer to it, but that's what I saw when you go into music. Now, the catch-22 is, what does that mean about you doing it? Can you ever do it full time? No, if it's free.
If it's free, and the question also is, do I want to do it full time? Because I did have an opportunity to, right after I got laid off and had a severance, I was like, I'm just going to be a musician for the next 8 months. And I got bored. I got overwhelmed, and I'm like, I have so many other interests.
But if you were getting royalties all the time from it, wouldn't that be different?
That would be different. It would.
See, the reason you couldn't do it full time is because it wasn't going to give you money. So even though you were on severance, you weren't making money. And I just think, that's just human nature.
Yeah.
So let's look at what could flip the switch for you to be willing to be paid to make your music. And let's just look at, and it's so funny, like me looking at a musician, like I can't even imagine listening to music without them getting paid.
Yeah.
Like I wouldn't even want to go to see Florida for free. Like I got so much out of that concert. Like it was the funnest thing I'd done in like years. Like I can't even imagine not paying money. I can't even imagine going to see him on stage and not having me give him money to do that. Like I can't even picture it. Like, do you know what I mean? So when someone wants to pay for something, they don't want it for free. Now, a lot of the way that music's set up is on, millions of hits, and then like the Apple gets the money to give you the proportion or whatever. So it's gotten more and more challenging, but it's not that. It's even at the core of that. So let me see if there's any messages for me, for anybody. Let me go see who's out there now.
Mm-hmm.
All I'm getting is like, that's the difference between it working for you and not working for you. So, and it doesn't mean you have to only do music. Like if you look at a professional basketball player, he's got financial investments. He might have children. He might write a book. He might run a nonprofit family foundation. He might do athletes for charities. So he's not playing football every day.
Every day,
There's
all the
only
time.
17 games a year, whatever there. I don't know how many football games there are a year, but something like that. So he's practicing a lot, but he's not doing it like he's not doing it. It's not the only thing he's doing in his life. He's just made a commitment to being the best and to allowing himself to be expressed as a God being at his highest capacity of himself, and thus making it into the pros. And so I think we get a lot of messy, mixed messages from the public about this kind of thing. So let's look at what part of you doesn't want to get paid to write music. Talk a little bit about that.
Oh, yeah. I think it's an awareness, and you and I, okay, so you and I both come from the journalism industry, and we see how that industry is going, right? And it's an awareness that the music industry, as well as the journalism industry, they both used to sell physical products, newspapers, CDs, and music. And those have fallen to the wayside. So this is a chaotic time to find solid money in that quote unquote industry. So we're having to make our own way. We're going to have to, build our own businesses to make that structure work, and devoting the time and making sure that, all this stuff is there. Also is the underlying, underneath that choppy waters is this underlying thing of like, well, maybe music should be free. Maybe, it's one of those,
hold on 1 second. That's my daughter.
Okay.
I'm sorry.
So yeah, there's underlying stuff about like, okay, music is this pure expression, and capitalist society is trying to block in the pure expression. There's underlying stuff around that.
Yeah.
That I feel the need to both let go of and just like acknowledge and choose something different.
I know, and maybe all we're doing today is asking the questions, because I got that hit like tenfold back at me of I get messages from Spirit, their gift, like, why, it's really nice to give them away. One thing I have noticed is that people do get changed more when they pay.
Yeah.
So people, when they pay, will take the messages back more intensely if they give me money in exchange for it. So there is a thing about people exchanging money for the music. And I do agree that it's more complicated than it's ever been. And so I'm going to go back to what Prince has shown me, which is make pure music and then make deals. And they're two different things. So he's saying, like, make the music, get the fans. Just get the fan base and keep your other business and get the fan base, but unfetteredly go about that. Like, just let the YouTube video clip of your song go wild. Like, get listeners, get fans, really allow them in to the process of you making music. Yes. And as you do that, as you get the fan base and keep your other business going, as long as it makes sense. And then that, do you see, then we don't have so many. So, I mean, that I've been really shy to be outed as a medium, but everyone who knows me knows I'm psychic as hell. Like, it can't, I mean, flipping stuff for you from Prince came when we're on the phone on a
sales call, right?
Yeah, right? Like, yeah. Like when we have these gifts, they will not be denied. Yeah. So that as you stand in your music and you keep giving your music more space and you keep allowing it, just they are really strong in their views. Prince just saying, make sure it gets the best part of you. That's all he cares about. Like, it's
to get the best what? To get the
best part of you.
The best part of you.
Yeah, they want the music to get the best part of you. Oh my gosh, that was a great reading. Thank you. and just tell me anything that validated for you. Just back on anything that like made sense or was true.
Well,
or
definitely like the stage persona and the presence and being unafraid to be seen, being unafraid to like be wanted, being unafraid of like costuming and makeup and just really owning it. Because I've always been like, you know, girl next door plays piano and sings. I know that especially with Little Spiral and definitely with Helix Code, there's more of a creative expression that can be embodied.
Yeah.
So
Nice.
that resonated for me. I was also taking notes, just like, you know.
I got like the tennies being the there's these new Nike high tops made out of reusable material that's very strange colors. That might be kind of fun to wear.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I got that too for you. It was really good.
Yeah.
Any other, tell me a little bit about why you really think it was Prince that talked to you that time. Like what happened? Don't tell me any of your names. Names will remain nameless.
Yeah. Around the same time I reached out to you, I got a prompting to also reach out to this author that had been doing some Facebook Lives. And I know this author has sold millions of books, but was only getting like 40 or 50 people on the on these lives. And I'm like, well, I reached out and I said, I do this for a living. I can help you. Let me just, you know, hook you up. And then one thing led to another, and it turns out that the author had a connection to Prince. So yeah, yeah, that was like, okay, all right. I am very much paying attention now, Spirit. Thanks.
There we go. Perfect. I'm gonna.
Yeah.